we're coming up to our first film review, which is Hustle. And it's the new film by Adam Sandler. It's on Netflix now. So if you have nothing to do tonight, watch it. So Pete,
I recommend watching this film for sure. This is a great movie. The trailer told you everything you needed to know, and it delivered. I mean, I was excited when I saw the trailer, and I was hopeful, and I was really just like, I really hope this isn't a silly movie, which it wasn't. This was a very serious movie, but it was fun. It was well done. The basketball sequences were top notch. This actor, the guy that you have on behind you here, was phenomenal.
He's a real NBA player. So they went pretty much the Spike Lee route, which is we're gonna take guys that already know how to play basketball, and we're gonna find the best actor out of those guys, as opposed to finding a great actor and teach them how to play basketball. Basketball is not something you can teach. You know what I mean? It's literally the hardest coordinated sport on earth. And it's, so you need guys like, what I loved about this film is the director of this did a fantastic job, but a lot of the shots, like there's no, old school basketball, watch basketball films like the 90s and even like the early 2000s. And it's always guy shoots, cut to basket, ball makes in this film. It's all one shots. It's one shots, and it's different angles because this guy knows how to make shots, and he's actually a pretty good NBA player too, and he's still young. I mean, this guy has potential to grow as an NBA player, but he did a great job acting. Like Pete said, the story is fantastic. Honestly, guys, hot take here. I think this is one of the best sports films of all time, and to me, this is a combination of uncut gems. So you're getting really this nuanced acting from Adam Sandler, but he's literally perfect for this role because he knows basketball.
Loves basketball.
He loves basketball, and he can play basketball. Like he's not, he's not a fake basketball fan. Like he's a legitimately good basketball player. He actually plays with good people, like NBA guys and stuff like that. Like he can hang. And then he has his little bit of comedy, but he's not over the top. Like
not at all.
He slides in this role so perfectly. He's believable. And I honestly, acting wise, I think this is better than Uncut Gem. I think this is his best acting role, period, because it's just a perfect character for him.
It's really good. Yeah. The thing I love the most about it, not the most, but like the thing that stood out to me the most was the fact that once you hit the credits and you start going through the credits, 97% of the actors in this film were all NBA players, either current or past.
Kenny Smith does a great job.
Exactly. I thought Kenny Smith did a phenomenal job. Like he acted better than I think I've seen a pro athlete act before. Like he did.
He's on TV, job. So I was never afraid. Like when I saw his name in the credits,
being on TV as a commentator is leaps and bounds different than being in a dramatic role, and that's what his character was. It was really good. Well,
100%. What I'm saying is, I could sense, like, to me, it's not. I'm not surprised that he was great because he has character. He knows how to give his thoughts. Like he understands camera presence. And yes, acting is way different than commentating. But what I'm saying is, I could tell he has potential based off of how he is, like Shaq. You can tell Shaq and Barkley actually could be rough, but Kenny Smith, you could tell, has the chops for it if he works on it. And I think he probably did work on it a lot. I mean, it shows. He was fantastic. He actually showed a little bit of some colors in terms of like some shades of different emotions and stuff like that. Like it didn't feel like a cameo for him. It felt like a legitimate role that he was acting in. He did phenomenal job. I have nothing but high praise. I'm actually gonna look forward to watching this film again.
Yep.
The other part of this that I loved, so Anthony Edwards, who's the former #1 pick on the Timberwolves, and he's the quote unquote antagonist in this film.
Yeah.
One of the antagonists in the film. Ben Foster's the other antagonist, and we already talked about Ben Foster.
Ben Foster is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
If I had a critique of this movie, it's that I wish, spoilers, turn this off if you don't want to find out. I would have loved to see a scene of him being removed as the owner of the team, because I think that he would have.
Him in Yeah, I would agree with that. That's a good.
I wanted to see, because he's such a good actor and he's so intense and he's such an ass in this movie. I wanted to see him get fired in the worst kind of
I would
way.
agree. That's a good note. That would have been an excellent scene between him and the sister.
And the sister, because the sister was tight, but she was in for like 2 minutes.
And you know what this reminds me of, Pete? Now that you're saying out loud, but that's the genie bus, and I forget the son's name, but the son. Remember, the son was just taking down the Lakers, and he told Jeannie Buss, "Give me 2 years, and if we don't win it, Jimmy Buss, maybe,
maybe.
If I don't win a championship in 2 years, you could fire me."
Yeah.
So I want to say they maybe took that playbook, and like you're saying, it would have been a great scene because it would have elevated the sister. It was kind of definitely felt a little rush there at the end in terms of like, oh, this happened, and it's not part of the major part of the story. So I understand it on one end, but now you're saying out loud, I'm like, yeah, that would have been a great scene to
so good.
And again, you just really seen the strength and the power of the sister, and then ultimately, again, we're talking about writing. You would have seen the dad's message from the beginning trickle down to the sister, and now she's taking that mantle and carrying that on with the family, because the son didn't have it, and they show that early on. So yeah, good point, man. That really, I think, would have taken this film to another level. And you're talking a 3-minute scene, so you're not talking like budget wise, you're not breaking the bank.
They could have shot this in a quarter of a day.
Great ad. Look at Pete. Pete just won this.
Listen,
event. Yeah,
that's what I do. I bring in notes.
You bring in notes. Great side note.
I definitely recommend it. Go and see this.
Highly recommend it. By the way, watch it twice. I'm going to watch it twice. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. Honestly, one of my favorite sports films of all time. The comp, again, guys, Uncut Gems meets Moneyball. I feel like that's, you want a good comp. I think that's like a really good comp, because Moneyball, when it comes to, like I said, Moneyball's not like a sports film, but it is. And this film is very similar. It's like, it's not a sports film, but it is. But there's real life drama and action that just fits